If you are tired of seeing criminals get away with murder, tired of hearing excuses for the wicked, then it's time to take action. Hit that subscription button now and stay in the loop with the Jamaica Young Police channel. We are not here to sugarcoat. We are here to expose the truth, bring justice, and make sure the real heroes get the recognition they deserve. Don't wait for the change. Be the change. Subscribe, like, and let's make some noise and hold those criminals accountable. Justice in action. Speak up. Crime must fall. And remember that we have go inside the description box and you'll see various links to various things for the Jamaica Young Police channel. JamaicaYoungPoliceChannel.com, where you see articles and stuff like that. Those who like to read, and and we continue to give you guys exceptional material over here. So, moving on. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers, and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, so right now you're looking at two Jamaicans. They are TV celebrities. Yeah, man. NEVILLE and CLARKE. CLARKE is a woman at the top and NEVILLE is the guy at the bottom. You're going to listen to both of them on the TV, on national TV, shielding killers, defending criminals over the police. Yeah, man, they are on the side of Jamaicans for justice, in which we all know, those of who can think. I see yours truly. When I told police officers that Jamaican for Justice was an arm of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, they were like, well, because that's true, you're a laborer, I didn't know that to think critically and able to decipher things for yourself when it's right in your face is just to put that label someone. Most Jamaicans don't know, unless you are from the belly of the beast as yours truly, born, grew up in it and see everything and know how they operate. The fist that you see on Jamaican for Justice, that's a PMP fist that they use. They talk about power. They never say no black power, they say power. And they talk about the struggle. These are all PMP terminologies. NIA. These are part of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. As you see with G2K, Generation 2000, they tell you that it's a GLP organization. Jamaicans for Justice and NIA portray themselves as being neutral, but they are not. These are PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organizations. And I say that without any apologies. And them can't sue me for slander them. Because these are criminals who are well spoken in dresses, suit and tie. So in Jamaica, to be popular, if you want to be popular, you do not side with the police. Never. If you want to be popular in Jamaica, never side with the police. Because if you side with the police, you're an informer and you're a laborer. That's from ever since, Even as a police officer, you're not supposed to criticize against criminality. I, Chris Porter, was born and raised in a belly of the beast. I have placed my birth certificate on the Jamaica Young Police channel. It's there over and over. Yes. Reason being, I'm not afraid of any guy. The only time you can kill me is once. But when you kill me, you can't kill the truth. Because the truth is always there. So when you're talking about killing informer for dead, I am a proud informer. I will always be proud informer. Because I hate criminals with a passion. You supposed to respect my rights, and I respect yours. Why you feel that you to violate my rights, and your rights must be protected? That's just wrong on all angles. So I was born and raised in the belly of the beast, a place where criminality wasn't just present, it was the culture. Even when I go to high school and youths will come from our community, I am telling you, when I was going to high school, youths will come from my community, at Jonestown, display a total different behavior from the youths who come from Tivoli and Rima and Southside. I talk about labor rights, you know. The labor rights every time we go to school, I talk about in the early 80s. Them never used to get in trouble at school. And we come from PMP communities. So there have to be something that they indoctrinate and imparted to us. And then teacher will be able to tell you. So you're not going to do well, you know. All of the youth them will come from the labor right areas when I was going to high school. Not one of them police kill or kill. You have a youth to come from Rima. Them man there was star footballer. You understand? Named Paula Rassi. I don't even know him correct name. Them call him Paula Rassi. And them, you understand? And them man they come to school to play football. But he was a big star baller, and not until PE or the coach them realize wait, other youth here, him become the star baller upon the football field for the school. And our school did win Ben Francis Cup. Yeah, my brother now used to live in a female now. My mother and father used to own it. I understand, so him not really have all mental faculty intact. Oliver, it's a buff son. Oliver was a football captain for his team. He used to go Wolmer's and Bright Boy and him transfer to my school for some reason or the other. So I can tell you, say it has to be something with the culture of the communities where we are from. The youth them from Tivoli never get in trouble when we go to school. Them quiet. The youth them from Rima and Southside, they were more mature. When we say mature, I talk mentally, and they never display no anti-social behavior. I am a grown man now. I'm an adult. So when looking back, there have to be something that is intrinsically wrong in our PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization communities. Why the youths them from these communities, when they go to school, display anti-social behavior? The same people them from Tivoli Gardens, Rima, Southside, I talk from memory, you know, when me grew up with and go high school with. Them not display the behavior them that we used to display when we go to school. So moving on. So as I said to you before, I was born and raised in the belly of the beast, a place where criminality wasn't just present, it was the culture. It was normalized, celebrated, and taught to us as youths. Not just as a way of life, but as a career path. One that came wrapped in the illusions of power, fast money, and street respect. You see, in communities like mine, you were not taught to aspire to be doctors, police officers, lawyers, engineers, or entrepreneurs. No. The highest form of success was to be feared, to be called the baddest, to have your name whispered in fear and your actions immortalized in gossip, songs, and street lore. But that's what they never market to us, was the truth behind that fantasy. That behind the flashy money, the fake friends, and the sudden popularity were prison bars, funeral homes, and grieving mothers. that while the image of a Don might glitter with promise, it ends most often in blood, handcuff, or a shallow grave. Straight to the departure lounge. But by then, the indoctrination was already complete. Young boys, hungry for recognition, attention, were already on the path, seeking to outdo each other in savagery and recklessness. In Jamaica, if you want to be popular quickly, you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be good. You just have to be anti-police. Hate the police, curse them, humiliate them on camera, spread lies about them on social media. The more venom you spew, the more likes you get. That's the quickest ticket to become a ghetto celebrity. It is not about justice. It is about ego, ignorance, and entertainment. And for the criminally inclined, these people, who represent a minority of the streets but make up 98% of the prison population, will cheer you on as long as your hatred for law and order matches theirs. But if you dare to take a stand against crime, if you reject the culture of death and disorder, if you defend decency, law, and order like I do, you'll be branded bad mind, a hater, or worse, a labor right. In their lexicon, being a labor right is something bad. I don't know where they get that from. As I stated before, when I was going to high school, all of the youth that I used to go to high school with, from South Side, Tivoli Gardens, and Rima, none of these youths, all of them still alive. Every one of them still alive. Hardy Murphy, when I call him correct name, Paula Rossi, Southie, him last name is Stanbury, I call him first name, I mean I say which part him live, and I can go on and on. Every youth when me and them grow, we come from my community, dead, except me and Orius Dinah Brown. Dead, grave, me are talking at my age group. I know a youth who used to go to school and name Russian. I don't know what I'm to him. Him come from Havana Jungle. I don't know if him dead or alive. But me know so them man is supposed to dead. You have a next one who used to live in a concrete jungle with me. When I don't remember him name. One brown youth. Him supposed to dead because before me a police. I remember him name. Before I joined the police force, enough time I see him near to Calvary Cemetery with Matic. And I must say one porter, them telling me I look forward for go be police. Yeah, you understand? Good looking. I don't remember him name. Him supposed to dead. Because from me left, me not even go back and me not try to, find out about people. Him supposed to dead too. Me I tell you, because he was older than yours truly. In the twisted lens of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization to support law enforcement makes you an enemy of the people. In my community where I'm from, same place now, Jonestown Concrete Jungle. Once you become a police or a soldier, you become an informer and you become an enemy of people. That's a culture. You have some people inside there who still love police and soldier. As I talk about even my encounter with Ratcliffe Row, when Ratcliffe just had become wanted, one of Jamaica's most wanted men back then. And it was same people in our community, decent people them, who I never know say have illegal guns, who step up and prevent him from coming up on Price Street. Him have to turn back as at Pencil Street. At the time I was a young police officer. I have a 6-shooter. Yeah, 6-shooter me have, and them have Matic. That was in 1990. You have to go and check the channel and you will see. So I tell people all the time, it's not, I said already and I say again, it's not everybody in a ghetto where have a gunman. You have people in a ghetto who have a legal gun and have just to protect them family. Them not in a gang and they're not trouble nobody. But these are people who are respected citizens and residents of the community. Them not trouble people. Them go them work, them smoke them weed, drink them beer and all of them things, and them have them children, and their children are well behaved. You have people in there get well divided, then they make them kids mix or dissolve with the others. And them reinforce that education, ghetto mean get out. In my community, as I said to you before, the ideology elevates murderers and demonize those who seek peace. They don't sing about heroes, they sing about gunmen, scammers, and rapists. Their anthem is bloodshed, and their doctrine is chaos. Yeah, man, you soon get to see a video. Over here says that not for on a TikTok, you know. This is YouTube, but you know, Jamaica Young Police channel is a total different channel. We just tell you as it is. When I wait for people for dead, we love when the police and the killers them to the departure lounge, and we tell you because we love that. So yes, I am Chris Porter, and I have made a decision. I would rather be hated by the depraved-minded people than praised by the damned. I would rather walk alone with my conscience intact than join a chorus of fools who worship criminals and vilify truth tellers. Because when the dust settles, popularity fades, but integrity doesn't rot in the grave. I am not a product of the street. I am a survivor of them. And if standing up for the truth makes me unpopular, let me be hated then. Because I was never trying to please cowards or criminals in the first place. Yeah, so, you know, I know that I am hated, and I have no problem with that, you understand? As I say, I was born and raised in a belly a beast. Not just a metaphor, but a stark reality. I grew up in Jonestown, Kingston 12, and Concrete Jungle. During one of Jamaica's darkest, bloodiest era, the 1970s and 80s, time when criminality was not just tolerated but celebrated in many of our communities. Back then, it wasn't just the gunmen who were idolized, it was also the voices on the radio and the images of the scream that play a pivotal role in shaping the minds of the youth. And my mother, God rest her soul, was the one of the few in our community who understand the long game. My mother understood the long game, because that's when I passed. She was no academic, no politician, just a wise Jamaican woman who saw what was coming. She refused to let us listen to JBC. Yes, the JBC, the Jamaican Broadcasting Corporation. She said clearly, if you listen to JBC, you will turn into a criminal. Fast forward 2025, I same thing. If you listen to TVJ or CVM, that is what will happen to your child or children. And you know what? She wasn't wrong. Because even back then, JBC's agenda was clear. Subtle, yet persistent glorification of lawlessness and romanticizing of rebellion and vilification of law enforcement officers. They help promote the seed of hatred. Hate police, JBC, Ronnie Tweets and all them guys they are apartheid too. Barry G. You mean the short man, the one here. That's why they charge you fraud. So you see, when them are, all the things what them do, it's only reveal who they are. Now, fast forward to May 2025, and here we are. JBC, yeah man, JBC rebranded. Yeah man, JBC rebranded. Scrubbed with a new name, Television Jamaica, TVJ. But make no mistake, it's the same beast, just wearing a different mask. It's a new mask. The ideological roots remain the same. The propaganda has evolved, but the message is identical. Discredit the police, defend the killers, defend the criminals, and mislead the public. And today I am going to show you undeniable proof, a video featuring two of Jamaica's most well-known and beloved TV personalities, Simone Cooper and NEVILLE. People you would expect to uphold integrity and impartiality, doing the unthinkable. On national television, these two individuals are seen shielding, sympathizing with, and defending criminals. Yes, killers. Both of them doing. You're going to see it for yourself. You know what most Jamaicans can think critically. So they will see something and it's what somebody else explained to them. So that's why we at the Jamaica Young, they don't like us, because we can think. We are from the belly of the beast. We never gone to big school. We never gone to KC in a Woolmas. We attend the same school. Butch Stewart, the richest man in Jamaica, attend. Although him dead and gone. May his soul rest in peace. And he was good to us because, you know, alumni at the same school. Killers kill people. Full stop. Killers kill people. Full stop. Yeah, so, you know, this is the channel that we have been telling you about. United we win, divided we lose. A call to action for all decent, ethical, and truth-seeking people. Brothers and sisters, let's speak some truth. Division has always been the weapon of the wicked. The ultimate tragedy used by corrupt governments, dishonest leaders, and power-hungry manipulators. They divide to conquer. They pit communities against each other. They turn neighbors against neighbor, tribe against tribe, race against race, because they know the terrifying power we hold when we are united under truth, justice, and purpose. That's why united we win, divided we lose. It's not just a slogan, it's a movement, a philosophy, a rallying cry for every decent, ethical, and truth-loving soul on this planet. We are all calling on you to be a part of something greater. This is not just another YouTube channel. This is an international platform that transcends borders, cultures, and languages. It reaches across ocean and finds its way into the hearts, homes, and minds of people like you. People who refuse to be manipulated. People who are hungry for truth. And people who stand for what is right, even when it's not popular. We believe in what is right, not who is right. That's what it's all about. So we expose what others are afraid to even whisper. So this channel reach across oceans and find its way into the hearts and minds of people like you, people who refuse to be manipulated. So we expose what others are afraid, because they themselves are afraid. We uplift voices that have been silenced. We connect the dots, several, reveal the agendas and show the patterns behind the lies that the mainstream buries. We cannot do it alone. Your subscription is more than just a click. It's a declaration that you are no longer asleep, that you refuse to be divided, that you see the power in unity, that you are choosing truth over propaganda, ethics over corruption, courage over silence. So I am personally inviting you, subscribe to United We Win, Divided We Lose channel, a home for truth seekers, the whistleblowers, the freedom fighters, and those who still believe in values and virtues and in victory through unity. Because remember, evil thrives when good people are silent and divided. But when we unite, we win, always. So join the movement, click, subscribe and select all and let your voice be counted among the courageous.
All right, folks, we're here as laughing, but we're really delving into a very serious issue. We're discussing this morning whether our citizens and organizations are supporting. All right, let's try that again, guys. Come, run the prompter again. Are our citizens and organizations supporting or failing to condemn our forces, our security forces? Joining us this morning, we have criminologist Dr. Jason McKay with us this morning. I guess this is out of the protest that would have been held the other day by the Jamaicans for Justice. I found it very interesting how that whole thing unfolded, who was encouraging who to wear blue, who was wearing black, and why it is that the two things couldn't coexist. Because we can support our security forces while condemning extrajudicial killings, while condemning abuse of power, no?
Well, the thing is, you have to have some material to be going forward. At the point in time, the fight against the gangs is actually going in our direction. You know, we are actually winning as a country. Right. And know that we're winning. You know, you come and you protest for something that you don't have anything tangible that has not gone your way. It's not that you're saying, okay, this and this has happened and it has been ruled on by Indicom and the office of the DP hasn't done anything or anything like that. There's nothing tangible putting forward. There is a war going on. You're fighting these gangs, there's 10,000 of them, and they kill over 1,000 people a year. You're going to expect combat. And it's not that you're looking at some aspect of the combat and saying, this should have been done here and it hasn't been done. You know, you have an investigative arm for police shootings. And if that investigative arm is carrying out its investigation and making recommendations, and the recommendations are being followed, you know, it still has to go to a higher point. But there's no tangible reason other than just to say, I'm going to protest.
Is that fair to say there's no tangible reason, though, Jason? Because there are so many cases. You're right, we're waiting for rulings on a lot of them.
No, but there are
cases in train. There are many Jamaicans who've been killed since the start of the year by police, and some of the circumstances around those are not clear. So when you say they have no tangible...
No, but there is an investigative arm that is independent. And that arm has been empowered to conduct investigations.
This is Indicom now.
Indicom, and very much a support group. There's very much a relationship exists between Jamaican for Justice and Indicom. Jamaican for Justice asked for this organization to be brought into existence. It exists. So I can understand if you're protesting a ruling that they made that perhaps was not being followed. And even if it is not being followed, it's not their remit to say that it must be followed. There's a higher office that determines if prosecutions are going to happen. You're just picking out a figure and saying it's too high. Well, what's the magic number? You have a group of people able to kill 1,000 people a year, every year since the year 2000, and you've now equipped a group to fight this group, to engage them, to stop them from killing 1,000 people a year. Then what is the magic number of police shootings that is okay for you? Because 0 is not realistic.
I don't know if there's a magic number, but usually we work on year over year and we look at baseline and increase.
But that's naive. Because operations police operations are what determines contact. Contact determines the combat. And when you have that is when persons get hurt or killed, you know. You're going to have, the more police operations you have, you're trying to get to guys with all these rifles and guns, you're going to have more combat. And then at that point in time, then you're going to find persons being hurt or killed. It's unavoidable if you're going to engage this group. You can take another alternative and budget and negotiate with them for rights of government, because that's where Haiti is going now. And that's where we could go. So when we, as the good people of the country, are fighting this small subset called the gangs, and then among us, a group of good people come out and protest without a tangible issue other than just a number, then it is in effect almost collaborating with them.
In your article, you got very heavy. I mean, you mentioned Nazi Germany, you mentioned South Africa's apartheid. What are you trying to say to Jamaica here?
What we must understand is context. You're looking at environments with incredibly negative forces that existed. Apartheid, South Africa, Nazi Germany. These are groups that went into other person's environment and did extremely negative things, brutal things. And then within those groups, those countries that they went in, there were persons within that country that supported, that openly supported them and empowered them. So it is just showing you the relationship between, and it was really a thing to say, I don't understand how this group in Poland, in France, and in South Africa really, and I even mentioned the Caribbean cricketers, actually did something to support these oppressive forces. I couldn't understand why they do it. I still can't understand why Jamaican for Justice does it. It's not that you're comparing the impact of Nazi Germany to the gangs. Nazi Germany was brutal. The gangs are brutal. And the capability that the Nazis have obviously will be significantly more than a Jamaican gang member. But they're just as brutal.
You just mentioned collaboration in speaking with the JFJ. You're not suggesting that they're on the side of the gangsters, are you?
No, but they are very much empowering them. This type of support.
In what way?
Because the gangsters feed off of it. When they see that there is a group that supports them, they feed off of it.
Because the group was out. The group comprised also family members of folks who've been cut down by the police who are still waiting for answers for years. I just wonder if your characterization
Indicom at no point in time takes years to do an investigation. They're extremely efficient at investigation.
So you're saying the family members who were out there who were saying that they can't have answers are not telling the truth?
They're not telling the truth, or they don't like the answers they've gotten. That is probably more like it. But when it comes to completing their investigations, and it's not that I'm a big supporter of Indicom, because I'm not, but I'll give them this. They're very efficient and very effective in their investigations, and they finish them within a reasonable time. You may not like the result of the investigation.
How do I feel as a family member now, Jason? I mean, who is hearing you say what you say and saying that I'm not telling the truth when I'm out there saying I want answers from my family member? I mean, I understand your position. No, I don't think any of us as we're thinking Jamaicans support gangs or support organizations that support gangs. And I'm not saying that I think JFJ does, because I do not believe that. But I don't know if it's a lack of empathy I'm hearing, or if it's actually just feel so strongly about the position that you're...
Let me give you it very clear.
Yes.
I in no way, shape or form believe that the values of Jamaican for Justice are interlinked with the values of the gangs.
Okay.
I do not
we just want to make that clear.
But I also don't believe that they genuinely are interested in the human rights of Jamaican citizens.
You don't?
No, I don't. Because
what do you think their agenda is?
There are persons who want to protest the state. There are persons who are career human rights supporters. But if you're really and truly interested in human rights, that protest will be taking place at De La Vega City or at Tars Pen.
Which is what you said.
Headquarters of gangs that are thousands in numbers.
You said, I've said this before and I'll say it again, if this group had any interest whatsoever in the human rights of Jamaican citizens, then there would be protests in the gangs that have killed 231 for this year already. If they find that the gangs are so deserving, then by extension, why are the victims of the gangs so undeserving of their activism? They need to stop ignoring this question. The Klansman gang has for decades subjugated the rights of Jamaican citizens in Spanish Town, and you're saying they should go to De La Vega.
They can go and protest, and I guarantee if they apply for a permit for an event to hold a legal protest, they will get protection from the police.
Can they do both? Can they protest the police killings?
Of course.
And also...
They can protest the activities of all of these major gangs, if they want to protest.
So you're suggesting you've only heard their voice when it comes to the police. Is that what you're saying?
I cannot recall hearing them condemning the activities of the gang members, but I can say without a shadow of a doubt, if they did it, it's nowhere as loud as their condemnation.
Well, recently the police officers who were shot in Denhamtown, they came out and said they didn't like that at all. They came out and said that.
Okay, so why didn't they go and protest the gangs in Denhamtown who shot the cops? Again, they can have peaceful, protected protests.
What is the mandate of the JFJ?
It is supposed to be to protect the human rights of Jamaican people, not just against state offences.
So you're saying what's going on with the, people say extrajudicial killings, but what's going on, you have no problem, you don't see any problem with it at all?
It's an expectation of combat. We're going to have good persons, police officers and soldiers injured in combat. You're going to have criminals who engage in combat with the police also injured. This is a normal expectation. There is other ways. You could negotiate property with them. You could negotiate a piece of Jamaica and get them in. You can negotiate part of your taxes to be paid to them. But these are the alternatives you're looking on. Remember Northern Ireland? The person sitting in Parliament right now was previously one of the terrorists. Adams. So you can go that route. As I said, I see Haiti within a few years going that route with the situation they're having with barbecue. Where they're going to probably at some point have to go to a negotiation table with them. Jamaica wasn't too far from that pre-2010, where all the gangs coming under one head and being able to now actually activate for a position in Parliament or activate for some the actual power, real power. These particular organized crime gangs in Jamaica are extremely powerful. They are extremely well armed and they're getting better armed. This isn't a point in time for any of us as good people to be coming out and giving them strength in any way, shape and form. And although we may disagree as to as to motives and career choices and so on, one thing for sure is that don't believe me on this, how it empowers the gangs, you can't imagine when they see this type of action.
JFJ's mandate focuses on advocating for state transparency, accountability, and overall good governance with a primary focus on victims whose rights have been breached by agents of the state, specifically members of security forces, police and soldiers. So actually they're squarely within pocket when they do.
But a bad mandate doesn't mean you can't.
You think that's a bad mandate?
How can you not look on the most oppressive group in the history of Jamaica?
So who holds them accountable, Jason, if is in place?
But we're not saying that they must look towards state excesses, but you can't say that you're genuinely interested in the human rights of Jamaican citizens and you plan to play no part at all in activating against the biggest proponent of violence against Jamaican citizens. This just can't work. It can't fit in the same square.
Well, their mandate is state.
That doesn't make it right. Okay, so their mandate is state, and they're within their mandate. But that means that they are not genuinely interested in defending the rights of Jamaican citizens if they have left out the biggest offender of the group.
But okay, do we have the time? Because what I'm just trying to backtrack. The context of the JFJ being born, unless I'm going back to a place where we don't know. Do you know? Was it because of excessive police killings? Why? Was it a need to try and figure out why it was happening?
Well, it was another human rights organization that came back from that.
So are you saying then that you don't think there's any point where we should be looking into matters that seem to be concerning? I
have not said anything like that here.
Okay.
And I neither have I written. There is a place for any group to exist. But in a time of war, when thousands of people, we're not talking tens, or hundreds, we're talking thousands of people have been killed, good innocent people have been killed, that we are at this point deciding we're going to divide and have a protest against the state.
You said the timing is bad.
Huh?
Are we in a time of war now?
We've been at war for the last 50 years. Now we're taking it seriously. Now we're actually winning. If this could continue, what is happening now? Because the biggest hit to fighting crime in this country was a demotivated police force. And for years everything was done to demotivate it, to include Jamaican for justice. Now at this point in time, what you're seeing is almost 18,000 persons out there every day actively working towards a cause. Now when you see somebody who you consider a decent citizen standing up and protesting against you, that works to demotivate the persons who are putting their life on the line every day and their family's life.
Gotcha.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
Thanks for your service.
We see the numbers going down, so we are, we NEVILLE always says we thank our officers for their service, because we know it can't be an easy job.
No, but the sacrifice is incredible, man. The sacrifice you see happening out there is incredible. The risk to the families of the lawmen, you know. I mean, I have served with lawmen whose children have been killed because of their police work. You know, so just remember, it's not a job that makes you wealthy, you know. So a lot of times you're fighting a policeman who doesn't have the means to own a bulletproof car or to live out of a community where he's even dropping children to school. So he's really putting his family on the line here. So the last thing you want to do when you're being worked to a frazzle like they are now and actually achieving this is to know see a group of people who you respect, and that is the big thing with Jamaican for Justice. If you look in the group of Jamaican for Justice, there are people out there who I would consider friends of mine, who are in that group, peer groups, academic equivalents, and so on. Who are part of this movement. So when you see that as a policeman who knows that you're dropping your child to school today because at 4 a.m. you have to be at the station to go and raid a squatter settlement, we are already combating the illegal light with the possibility of electrocution, the possibility of getting shot and everything. And now you're a group of somebody who probably taught you at university or taught you at school is out there holding a placard against you. You know, it is very demotivating.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get someone from Jamaican for Justice to respond to Dr. McKay.
Should get us both here at the same time.
Yeah, that would be the right shot, actually.
Criminologist Dr. Jason McKay, thanks again for your service, sir.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming this
Very passionate about his position. Coming up next, we're going to hear all about the Caribbean investment.
Yeah, as we say, killers kill people, full stop. There's no romanticism in murder. There is no heroism in ambushing police officers, in cutting down mothers, fathers, and children. But somehow, these two TV hosts choose to echo the false, malicious claims of Jamaicans for Justice, an organization that has morphed into a mouthpiece for the criminal underworld under the guise of human rights advocacy. Hypocrites, liars, and frauds. Jamaican for Justice is an arm of the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. They are not a human rights organization. They are there for the criminals, the 98% of Jamaicans who are in prison. And those of you who did not remember, when we had the Tivoli incursion in 2010, May, Jamaican for Justice didn't come out and defend those criminals and say it was extrajudicial killing. No. Because guess what? They are labor rights. So we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel know what we are up against. We are up against people who are immoral, unconscionable, and evil at best. They don't love Jamaicans. They don't love the poor. They just use and abuse the poor to attain power. So what's worse? On April 29, 2025, the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, the political mafia that has crippled Jamaica for decades, openly align itself with Jamaican for Justice, doubling down on the demonization of the police and its members, and casting doubt on every confrontation that ends with criminals being neutralized, receiving their tickets straight to the departure lounge where they belong. They said it was extrajudicial killing, but where is their outrage when police officers are murdered? Where is their voice for Corporal Kamal Main, who was ambushed and executed like a dog? Silence, crickets, celebration by the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization in private. Now, in this video, I am sharing with you, you will witness Dr. Jason McKay, a man of academic brilliance and personal integrity, publicly shaming and intellectually dismantling the cowardly stance taken by Bell and Clarke Cooper. Dr. McKay, whose own father, known as Castro, in the streets, bad police, just like the son, served honorably Blay, as a district constable at Denantown Police Station, at a Kingston Western Police Division in my era where I was born and raised. Castrating a bad police. Dr. McKay speak with authority, truth and conviction. You won't hear any of the other PhD them will go to the University of the West Indies, the criminal university in Jamaica, where only them indoctrinate the children and them go there to become criminal sympathizers, enablers and supporters. I make excuse to them. Some people who kill people are because them poor. Jamaica is the only place where they market that madness and people buy it. I don't. The only way you kill somebody because you're poor or because you make money from doing it. So that is not a reason to kill people. For you to kill another person, it's supposed to be in self-defense of your life. But Dr. McKay, he calls out the sick culture where the media is more interested in tearing down law enforcement than uplifting justice. What NEVILLE and Simone Clarke Cooper did was not journalism. It was propaganda. Lies. Smokes in mirror. It was an insult to every honest police officer who risked their life daily, and a slap in the face to every law-abiding Jamaican who wants to live in peace, not under the shadow of thugs. Let this be a wake-up call for all Jamaicans, everyone, to Jamaicans at home and abroad. TVJ is not neutral. They are pushing a narrative, a dangerous one, just like CVM, crafted by the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization and their front groups like Jamaicans for Justice, whose main agenda is to weaken the state, vilify the police, and empower criminals. And as for me, Chris Porter, I will continue to speak out, no matter how unpopular the truth may be. I will never bow to the media cartel, to the political prostitutes, or to the criminal apologists in fancy suits. I don't care how much ratings they pull in or how many awards they win. If you are defending killers, you are complicit in the bloodshed, and your soul will pay. This is not journalism. As I said to you before, we don't have journalists in Jamaica. We have hustlers and PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization activists. Is now we have seen a guy named George Davis and Cliff Hughes at Nationwide who Jamaicans start get some truth with evidence. Before then, because you won't get the truth about Jamaica and the history of the real criminals, the people who have been destroying the fabric of our society, the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. April 29th was the day that they have turned criminals into saints, the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, Jamaicans for Justice and NIA, because they are all the same. The three-headed dragon. This is treachery, and Jamaica deserves better. So, Jasmine Deans, yes, that's the visually, or some people that's a blind young lady, very beautiful, you see her, tragic disappearance and presume death should have been a national reckoning. A wake-up call for every Jamaican, especially those in the media who have the power to shape narratives and influence a public sentiment. But instead, what we witness from two of Jamaica's so-called beloved TV personalities, Simone Clarke Cooper and NEVILLE, was shameless, disgraceful sympathy, not for the victims, but for the criminals. The killers. Yes, the killers. You're going to hear them for yourself. You see, sometimes it takes personal pain to trigger perspectives. Let me repeat this. We never got a big school, you know. We got St. Mary's College as Garden Bush Stewart. We're not even graduate from high school. Because the way we love police and we love with people. From I was 4, I said I want to be police. So me do tests when me in high school and go training school. When my class was graduating, I was there training to graduate as a police officer. And I was the youngest police officer from my batch. You see, sometimes it takes personal pain to trigger perspective. That is why I, Chris Porter, say this with every ounce of sincerity in my soul. Jasmine Dean could have been your daughter. And maybe, just maybe, she should have been, so you could finally feel what her family is living through every day. And I'm talking to you, Simone Clarke Cooper and NEVILLE. Yes, it's a pity that Jasmine Dean, she wasn't the daughter of Simone Clarke Cooper and NEVILLE. To finally feel what her family is living through every day. Because clearly, you don't get it. You don't understand the depth of grief that comes with losing a child to violence, heartless, remorseless predators and jackals. All these people do is destroy life and destroy communities. You don't comprehend the pain of families who go to bed with the deafening silence of unanswered prayers and wake up with the nightmare that their loved one is never coming home. You seem far more concerned with pushing narratives that shield murderers and vilify the men and women in uniform who risk their lives to protect us. Let me be crystal clear. When the day comes, and it will, when one of these very same heartless killers you are now defending come knocking at your door, do not come to us for sympathy. When the reality of violent crime lands on your doorstep, do not expect law-abiding citizens to light candles, send condolences, or cry tears. We will not forget how you defend monsters while mothers like Jasmine were begging for justice. I, Chris Porter, pray one day, yes, pray, you both, yeah man, I'm talking NEVILLE and Simone Clarke Cooper, experience the wrath of these murderers in the most personal way. Even Mark gonna be a golden too. Yes, even some of the PMP, LGBTQ plus criminal organization, member of parliament, make it come home, man, it home. Well, Philip Paul, like for him now, him do it himself. Cause I'm heartless, Rear Admiral now, no conscience. So that you can understand what it feels like when your child vanishes or is brutalized and the only answers you get are whispers and news reports. Maybe then you will stop defending these demons in human form. Maybe then you will stop treating police officers as the enemy while calling murderers victims and calling the liars truth tellers. I have never met an honest liar in my life or an honest criminal. Show me. I have family who are criminals too and who are. Some of them might not be, I don't know if they still practice that kind of lifestyle, but I'm speaking truth. And let me say this, if and when it happens, when it hit home for you, Simone Clarke Cooper and NEVILLE, do not look to us, the law-abiding citizens, for sympathy. You won't find it. We will not care how the police dealt with the perpetrator, whether they sent them to the hospital, in which we prefer not to, or departure lounge. That is the place that we love for the killers to go. We don't like jail, and we don't like hospital for killers. We will only say good riddance. That's where they belong. You made your bed by siding with Jamaica's enemies. When the consequences of that loyalty arrive, lie in it, Simone, Clarke and NEVILLE. In closing, let me brutally honest and speak truth without fear or favor, malice or ill will. What NEVILLE and Simone Clarke Cooper did on national television was not journalism, was not compassion, and more certainly was not justice. It was a betrayal of countless innocent Jamaicans who have been gunned down, robbed of their futures, and left to rot in the blood-soaked gutters of communities overrun by criminals. These two so-called TV professionals or personality or celebrities smile and scripted empathy choose to use their platform not to advocate for justice, not to comfort grieving families like Jasmine Deans, but to defend and humanize the very monsters responsible for Jamaica's descent into chaos. They show more concern for the well-being of killers than for the safety of police officers and law-abiding citizens. They spoke with subtle venom against the men and women in uniform who wake up every day with a target on their back, not because they are criminals, but because they wear a badge. Shame on them. NEVILLE, a man who many once admired, has now revealed himself as another media puppet, mouthing off anti-police rhetoric to appease the criminal sympathizers. And Simone Clarke Cooper, once seen as a poised and articulated woman of class, has now exposed herself as just another mouthpiece for the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization's agenda to weaken the pillars of law and order under the guise of human rights. When you kill people, you don't have any rights. You have given up all rights. You cannot commit murder and talk about justice and system straight to the departure lounge. You have to have some form of deterrence. We don't care what they want to call it, extrajudicial killing or what. We call it preemptive strike. Talking about police must wear cameras. Wear cameras what? Which dummy would be in a shootout and thinking about to turn on cameras? You got to be kidding me. We don't need a camera in Jamaica. We are these monsters. They need to be sent to the departure lounge. They must mess up themselves before them dead. Because them see it coming and can't stop it. Same way like how them treat them victim. That's how you treat them. Yeah, these are monsters. These are not human beings. Because if you respect your life, you're going to respect the life of another person. But if you don't expect us to respect yours. Their loyalty clearly does not lie with the victims of crime. It lies with ratings, with applause from the criminal underbelly, and with organizations like Jamaicans for Justice, NIA, and the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, which continue to serve as a front for undermining national security while pretending to care for human dignity. But amid this disgrace, there stands a voice of reasons, truth and courage, Dr. Jason McKay. Yes, Dr. Jason McKay. We celebrate him, laud him, and put him on a pedestal. We don't care if him a PNP, him a police, and him a do work to make the Jamaican people them safe. We love how him send the criminal them to the departure lounge. We see Peter Phillips, Battyface Peter Bunting the other day. Yes, he went to Central Village, disparaging this same man, Dr. Jason McKay, because this man is a patriot, talking about murderer who was brutally killed by the police, but who was wanted for 5 counts of murder. We don't care. You kill 5 people and the police come and them have to send it to the departure lounge. No. That is not even preemptive strike. That's a self-defense. 5 people? No, you can't make the police become 6, 7 or 8. No. So here's a man who speaks not just from academic knowledge, but from his lived experience. A man whose father, Castro, served with honor as a district constable in one of the most dangerous divisions in Jamaica, Kingston Western. In the 70s, ask any police, a one division police now have to work at Kingston Western. Because they kill all police all in front of a police station at Denver town when me a boy I grew up. Sometimes all few weeks all 5 police them kill down there. Labour Right and PMP are kill police in the West. But mostly, you know, because in my community, that's how them used to, that's how them operate. That's why men like detective like Tom Levine was a counter to them. Murderers fear him. Them know that once them shoot at him, the fire shot at Tom Levine, they know where they're going. Straight to the departure lounge. And that's the only policeman that ever have 7 or 9 funeral one day. A Calvary and Maypen Cemetery. Back then, police never used to take police out of frontline duty. Tom Levine would kill 2 men and him they are driving on the way to KP8 and kill 2 more again. So it's 2 different incidents. It's not like now a police involved in a shooting them take them out of frontline duty because they want to be trying to be American, but yet the Jamaican police not experiencing the protection that American police get and the support. In America, any politician support criminals, that's the end of your career. Even the criminal don't like you. That's how it is in America. But in Jamaica, they want it, but they want to eat them cake. They want to have them cake and eat it. You know, like that. But amid this disgrace, there stands a voice of reason, man, truth and courage. Dr. Jason McKay. You will not find another PhD person in Jamaica apart from Dr. Bain, or what I medical Dr. Bain, the same one of the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization and Jamaican for Justice, got fired by the Portia Simpson administration for telling black men, don't want my body and take it like no girl, because you get HIV and AIDS, because the rectum is not a sex organ. It's a excreting waste product from the body that the body refuse. You don't dabble in it. And them fire Dr. Bain, Jamaican for Justice, along with the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. When they were in power, Portia Simpson Miller administration did it. Them love poor people, so them a tell black man now to open up them body hole and take it like a girl because them want to destroy them. That's why them love the killings. Them want the genocide. Them want black people living in love and unity. And them tell them to aspire to be doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, police officers and soldiers. Them want everybody to be done. Everybody want to be done. Live long like George Pang and my cousin and Zeng and all of them man there. Yeah, only some people know them, you know, Zeng the name, you know. Dr. McKay response was not fueled by emotion, but by facts, principles, and a deep understanding of what justice truly means. He did not mince words. He did not bend for popularity. He stood up unapologetically and shamed NEVILLE and Simone Clarke Cooper for their dangerous posturing and reckless commentary. I applaud Dr. McKay for standing up for the Jamaican Constabulary Force and its members. It reminds me of the current Commissioner of Police. Yes, Dr. Blake, Kevin Blake, are the best thing since, yes man, Dr. Kevin Blake is the best commissioner we have since Herman Ricketts. I tell you man, what a blessing in disguise. Can you believe? And his uncle was one of the worst. But hey, as them say, 7 brothers, 7 different minds. Dr. McKay is what Jamaica needs more of. Men and women who are not afraid to confront lies, not afraid to defend the police, and not afraid to expose the hypocrisy of our media. He is a reminder that truth still has champions in this country, yes, in our island, named Jamaica. While some sell out for airtime and clout, Dr. Jason McKay stand tall as a man of courage, clarity and conscience. So let the record show, while NEVILLE and SIMONE sought to curry favor with the criminal enablers, Dr. McKay stood firm with the law, with decency, and with the Jamaican people who still believe in justice. He is the kind of Jamaican we must rally behind if this country is ever to rise again. And to those who still defend NEVILLE and SIMONE after their disgraceful performance, you are a part of the problem, because Jamaica cannot heal while its most influential voices keep giving comfort to killers and condemnation to cops. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out. And before we go out, yeah man, we want to big up the people them at Seaview Gardens. Yes, but Seaview Gardens, Walton Park Road, and we say Walton, we attack 33 lane, 30, 35, 37 lane, Galloway Road, Petora Road, Fitzgerald Avenue, Crescent Road, 2 Mile. Cause people them say, boy, oh, you know, a big way up and look how much things we still do, because we still, although you're in a station at Hunsby, we still see you as part of Hunsby. Yeah man, Callaloo, Bed and Riverton too. Brook Valley, Sherlock, Corville Gardens, Waterhouse, Tower Hill. Yeah man, Cockburn Pen, one of my favorite communities. Yeah man, Cockburn Pen. For me, a little youth, Cockburn Pen is a place where my father always take me and them thing there. Kling Avenue. Yes. Pepe, Goodison. All of them you there. Wavell Avenue. I talk about Super Cat family them. ZELLE. Mongoose Town. Mandela Town. Back to Greenwich Farm. Genie. A man who used to look about fish. When I tell you know if Genie dead or still alive, or decades with it, you understand. So I just saw it go. Whitfield Town. Let's keep tuning to the Jamaica Young Police Channel. And we have to big up Waterford. We have to big up Concrete Jungle, where we come from. We have to big up Jonestown. These places grow away. We have to big up Linstead too. We have to big up Bagwalk. We have to big up Face, we call it Siberia. Choja School, St. Mary's College. Why want to place them? Zion Hill, Above Rocks, Parks Road. And I can go on and on. I have to big up Silo Music Station at St. Elizabeth, Craft Ceiling at Clarendon, May Pen at Clarendon, Black River. Boy, the first time in my life at Jamaica, I experience hunger. When I talk about hunger till me all my ears. I never know say hunger, when you're hungry till all your ears are like a whistle. A Black River me experience that. In a Jamaica as police. Yeah, man, I just saw it go. So, as a reminder to all of these people, just respect and thanks. And look here, those of you who know me, I not change. I just Chris this. I'm still not afraid of no guy. None. One time I came dead. Should have been killed 2 weeks. I should have been killed 2 weeks after I passed the police test. But God brought me to this journey. I have been shot up so many times, I can't even count. And I have never received any gunshot. 2 of us, myself and Bobby Reds. Everybody else we used to work on the street and work with, we get gunshot. Your man only Detective Inspector Ruben going to a 5-time gunman shoot him. I have never gotten shot yet, and you understand. So I just saw it go. So we give God thanks, God and God the glory. Without God, we are nothing. We don't take praises. We take everything, we give it to God. Because God is the Almighty. Without God, we are nothing. I remember, we have said this to every police officer, young, old, we all listen to the Jamaica Young Police channel now. Remember, before you leave your house, always pray. Don't be ashamed of God. Because if you are ashamed of God in private or public, you don't know, you already book your ticket straight to hell. I love God. And without God, I would not be here. So today is Tuesday, May 28th, and the time now is 1 a.m. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out, and big up the great John Gaza and Dudley Bryan and Ivan O. Thompson. Peace.